Welcome back to the Night Gambit TV, your ultimate destination for high-level chess breakdowns. Today, we are analyzing a thriller from the 2026 St. Louis Rapid Blitz. In round 3, American Super GM Fabiano Caruana takes on the Indian prodigy, Grandmaster Praggnanandhaa. Grab your coffee, board, and notebook. This move-by-move masterclass in the French defense is about to blow your mind. Part 1. The foundation and opening clashes, moves 1 to 15. Move 1. White plays 1e4. White starts by controlling the central d5 and f5 squares and freeing paths for the light-squared bishop and queen. Black replies 1. e6. Praggnanandhaa signals the French defense, preparing to contest the center with d5 while keeping a solid light-squared structure. Move 2. White plays 2d4. Caruana claims full pawn ownership of the central squares, e4 and d4. Black replies 2. d5. Black immediately challenges White's central dominance, striking directly at e4. Move 3. White plays 3. and c3. White develops the knight to its natural post, defending e4 and exerting pressure on d5. Black replies 3. and f6. Praggnanandhaa enters the classical French, attacking White's e4 pawn a second time. Move 4. White plays 4e5. Caruana pushes forward, gaining space on the king side and driving Black's knight off its best development square. Black replies 4. nfd7. The knight retreats safely to d7, where it prepares to assist in Black's eventual central counterattack. Move 5. White plays 5f4. White solidifies the e5 pawn wedge and prepares for a future kingside pawn storm. Black replies 5. c5. The classic French counterstrike. Black immediately attacks the root of White's pawn chain on d4. Move 6. White plays 6 and f3. White brings out another piece to reinforce d4 against Black's growing pressure. Black replies 6 and c6. Praggnanandhaa develops another attacker targeting White's d4 pawn. Move 7. White plays 7, b3. Caruana develops his bishop to e3 to shore up d4. Black replies 7, a6. A crucial prophylactic move in the Boleslavsky variation. Black prevents nb5 ideas and prepares a queenside pawn expansion with b5. Move 8. White plays 8, qd2. White connects the queen to the e3 bishop, preparing options for long castling, olo. Black replies 8, b7. Black quietly prepares to castle kingside while keeping the options open. Move 9. White plays 9, b2. Caruana prefers short castling, opting for safety over aggressive opposite side castling. Black replies 9, b5. Praggnanandhaa expands aggressively on the queen side, gaining vital space. Move 10. White plays 10, a3. White halts Black's b4 push before it happens, stabilizing the queenside flank. Black replies 10, qb6. Black piles maximum pressure on d4 while eyeing the b2 pawn. Move 11. White plays 11, and d1. A rerouting maneuver. White shifts the knight to bolster the defense of c3 and d4. Black replies 11, a5. Black continues expanding on the queen side to seize space. Move 12. White plays 12, oh. Caruana secures his king in the safety of the kingside corner. Black replies 12, oh. Praggnanandhaa mirrors the action, tucking his king safely away on g8. Move 13. White plays 13, c3. White forms a rock-solid pawn base on c3 supporting d4. Black replies 13. C takes d4. Black clarifies the tension, opening the c-file for upcoming rook operations. Move 14. White plays 14. C takes d4. White recaptures with the pawn to maintain a strong presence in the board center. Black replies 14, b4. Black strikes on the queen side, opening lines for his rook and queen. Move 15. White plays 15, a4. Caruana locks down the a-pawn to deny Black an easy pawn break on the edge. Black replies 15, bishop a6. Black trades off his traditionally bad French light-squared bishop for White's strong light-squared bishop. Maneuvering and strategic tension, moves 16 to 27. Move 16. White plays 16. b3. White shores up the a4 pawn and secures the c4 square. Black replies 16. Rook a c8. Praggnanandhaa claims the open c-file with his rook. Move 17. White plays 17. Bishop d3. Caruana offers the bishop trade on d3 to reduce black's active pieces. Black replies 17. Knight cb8. A deep positional maneuver. Black frees up the c6 square and sets up future knight jumps. Move 18. White plays 18. Rook a2. White uses a classic rook lift along the second rank to defend c2 and shift horizontally. Black replies 18. Bishop takes d3. Praggnanandhaa trades off the light-squared bishops. Move 19. White plays 19. Queen takes d3. The queen recaptures on d3, occupying a dominant central diagonal. Black replies 19. Queen a6. Black challenges the active white queen, offering a queen exchange to neutralize white's central power. Move 20. White plays 20. Queen b1. Caruana declines the trade. He keeps his queen on the board to preserve kingside attack possibilities. Black replies 20. f5. A necessary structural clamp to block white's f4, f5 push on the kingside. Move 21. White plays 21. h3. White prepares a g4 pawn push to break open black's kingside cover. Black replies 21. Knight c6. The knight returns to c6, eyeing central infiltration squares. Move 22. White plays 22. g4. Caruana launches his kingside pawn storm, striking directly at f5. Black replies 22. Bishop d8. Praggnanandhaa reroutes his dark-squared bishop to b6, aiming at the weak d4 pawn. Move 23. White plays 23. Rook af2. White doubles rooks on the f-file to maximize pressure on f5. Black replies 23. Knight e7. Black brings a third defender to reinforce the critical f5 pawn structure. Move 24. White plays 24. King h2. Prophylactic king move, clearing the g-file for his rooks. Black replies 24. Bishop b6. The bishop reaches its ideal target diagonal, pinning its sights on d4. Move 25. White plays 25. Rook g1. White places a rook on the open g-file, threatening black's king alignment. Black replies 25. Knight b8. Praggnanandhaa reshuffles his forces to prepare tactical strikes. Move 26. White plays 26. Knight g5. Caruana leaps forward with a knight, attacking e6 and pressing hard. Black replies 26. Bishop a7. Praggnanandhaa keeps his bishop safe while maintaining pressure on d4. Move 27. White plays 27. Rook fg2. White doubles heavy pieces on the g-file. Black replies 27. Rook c7. Black protects his second rank against potential white intrusions. Part 3. Crack in the fortress and tactical blows. Moves 28 to 38. Move 28. White plays 28. Queen b2. Critical blunder. White steps off the key diagonal. Caruana should have played nf3 to maintain positional harmony. Black replies 28. h6. Praggnanandhaa instantly exploits the slip, kicking the overextended g5 knight. Move 29. White plays 29. Knight f3. The knight retreats to safety on f3. Black replies 29. F takes g4. Black snaps the pawn, opening up lines on the kingside to trade off white's attack. Move 30. White plays 30. H takes g4. White recaptures with the h-pawn. Black replies 30. Queen d3. Inaccuracy. Praggnanandhaa invades with qd3, though ing6 was objectively sharper. Move 31. White plays 31. Rook e2. White defends his e3 bishop against black's infiltrating queen. Black replies 31. Knight bc6. Inaccuracy. Black mobilizes the knight, missing a chance to blow open the game with g5. Move 32. White plays 32. Knight f2. White kicks the invading black queen off d3. Black replies 32. Queen c3. Black forces a queen trade, forcing Caruana to enter a defensive endgame. Move 33. White plays 33. Rook c1. White pins the black queen against the c1 rook. Black replies 33. Queen takes b2. Praggnanandhaa trades off queens on b2. Move 34. White plays 34. Rook takes b2. The rook recaptures on b2. Black replies 34. Knight takes d4. Tactical strike. Black destroys white's central anchor with a temporary sacrifice. Move 35. White plays 35. Bishop takes d4. White takes back the knight on d4. Black replies 35. Rook takes c1. Praggnanandhaa wins white's back rank rook with check. Move 36. White plays 36. Bishop takes a7. White captures the bishop on a7 to balance material. Black replies 36. Knight c6. The knight forks white's bishop on a7 and attacks the e5 pawn. Move 37. White plays 37. Bishop b6. White saves his bishop by stepping back to b6. Black replies 37. g5. Black launches a devastating kingside pawn break, tearing open white's king defenses. Move 38. White plays 38. King g2. Caruana steps his king out of potential pins. Black replies 38. G takes f4. Black captures on f4, establishing an unstoppable passed pawn. The endgame turning point. Moves 39 to 50. Move 39. White plays 39. Knight d3. Inaccuracy. White places his knight on d3. bd4 offered much stronger defensive resistance. Black replies 39. Rook c3. Black's rook invades the third rank, double attacking the d3, knight, and b3 pawn. Move 40. White plays 40. Knight c5. Fatal blunder. Caruana misses black's tactical sequence. NDE1 was required to hold the position together. Black replies 40. Rook b8. Praggnanandhaa plays a brilliant resource. The b6. Bishop is pinned and targeted. Move 41. White plays 41. Knight d7. Mistake. White tries to counterattack black's rook, but it falls short. Black replies 41. Rook b7. Black calmly steps his rook back, keeping white's knight trapped in a tactical web. Move 42. White plays 42. Knight f6 check. White gives a desperate check on f6. Black replies 42. King f7. Praggnanandhaa steps his king forward to safety. Move 43. White plays 43. Bishop f2. The bishop finally escapes to f2. Black replies 43. Knight takes e5. Mistake. Black wins the e5 pawn, though the engine notes rook takes f3 was even cleaner. Move 44. White plays 44. Knight takes e5 check. White trades off knights on e5. Black replies 44. King takes f6. Black recaptures with the king, maintaining active central king placement. Move 45. White plays 45. Bishop d4. White sets up a dangerous discovered check threat on the long diagonal. Black replies 45. King g5. Praggnanandhaa marches his king deep into white's territory. Move 46. White plays 46. Bishop takes c3. Caruana grabs black's rook on c3. Black replies 46. B takes c3. Black takes back with the pawn, creating a terrifying passed c-pawn on c3. Move 47. White plays 47. Rook b1. White retreats his rook to stop the c-pawn from marching to promotion. Black replies 47. Rook b4. Black activates his rook to cut off white's options. Move 48. White plays 48. King f2. Caruana rushes his king to assist in stopping black's passed pawns. Black replies 48. Rook e4. Black cuts off white's knight with a central rook placement. Move 49. White plays 49. Knight f3 check. Inaccuracy. White checks the king, but 1 rupee was necessary to fight for the open line. Black replies 49. King takes g4. Praggnanandhaa gobbles up another pawn with his ferocious king. Move 50. White plays 50. Rook g1 check. Caruana delivers a check along the g-file. Black replies 50. King f5. Black steps his king safely back to f5. Part 5. The final crush and resignation, moves 51 to 62. Move 51. White plays 51. Rook G8. Inaccuracy. White tries to look for back-rank tricks, but our D1 was better. Black replies 51. Rook E3. Black positions his rook to dominate the third rank completely. Move 52. White plays 52. Knight D4 check. White checks Black's king again. Black replies 52. King E5. The Indian grandmaster marches his king forward into the heart of White's position. Move 53. White plays 53. Knight C6 check. Another desperate check by Caruana's knight. Black replies 53. King E4. Black's king reaches E4, where it completely dominates the board. Move 54. White plays 54. Knight takes A5. White grabs a pawn on A5, but it is far too slow. Black replies 54. D4. Praggnanandhaa pushes his central passed pawns. Move 55. White plays 55. Rook C8. Caruana places his rook behind Black's c-pawn. Black replies 55. F3. Black's kingside pawn monster advances closer to promotion. Move 56. White plays 56. B4. White attempts a desperate counter-push on the queen side. Black replies 56. Rook E2 check. A brutal check on the second rank. Move 57. White plays 57. King G3. White's king runs away from the check. Black replies 57. C2. The passed pawn reaches C2, just one square away from becoming a queen. Move 58. White plays 58. Knight B3. White attempts to blockade the D3 square. Black replies 58. D3. The D-pawn advances. The duo of C2 and D3 pawns is unstoppable. Move 59. White plays 59. Rook C4 check. Caruana gives one last check with his rook. Black replies 59. King E3. Black's king moves to E3, protecting all advancing pawns. Move 60. White plays 60. Rook C5. White tries to set up checkmate traps on E5. Black replies 60. Rook G2 check. Praggnanandhaa delivers a decisive check, forcing White's king to the edge. Move 61. White plays 61. King H3. White's king steps to the corner. Black replies 61. Rook G5. Black defends E5 while preparing to execute the final blow. Move 62. White plays 62. Rook C6. White makes a final helpless move. Black replies 62. E5. Caruana resigns. Black's pawns are completely unstoppable, and checkmate or massive material loss is unavoidable. 0-1. Asterisk, what a masterclass by Praggnanandhaa. Taking down Fabiano Caruana with the black pieces in a French defense is no small feat. That king march in the endgame was pure poetry in motion. If you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the Night Gambit TV, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another Grandmaster analysis. Drop a comment below. What was your favorite move in this game? Until next time, keep calculating, keep learning, and keep playing chess.